whatever we wish to do with the youth, one thing that the older generations should understand is what you're referring to as youth is that segment of humanity which is more alive than you. What I see is, if the world was guided by the young, the world would be a better place to live. It is just that because youth means it is that segment of humanity which is in a high energy state. Because they are in a certain level of high energy compared to the other part of the humanity, it is just that every little thing that they do is little exaggerated. It's little bigger than what the other people can do. If something constructive has to happen in the world, it has to be youth. If something destructive has to happen in the world, it has to be youths, isn't it? Because they're much more live than anybody on the planet. So instead of always treating youth as some kind of a disease that needs to be handled, you must understand youth is much more alive than the other parts of humanity. It's better to be guided by the youth than trying to fix them to do what somebody else thinks is right. It is just that because they're in a certain state of listless energy, if there is no inspiration, if there is no proper guidance, it very easily turns negative. But otherwise, definitely they're closer to life than anybody. Actually, it would be wonderful if this world was guided by little children, because they're closer to life than anybody else. See, after all, everything that you wish to do on the planet is just for human well-being, isn't it? Yes. Human well-being means human happiness. If you look at your children and yourself, definitely your children are a lot more happier than you, isn't it so? They're capable of more happiness than you in 24 hours' time. So when that is the thing, tell me who should be a consultant for life, you or your child? Huh? Definitely the children, isn't it? Because they're closer to life. You are carried away in your thoughts and emotions, they are much more closer to life. If only the world learned from children rather than trying to teach the children, this would be a very beautiful place. So, youth is not a disease. Usually, the older generation is always trying to handle youth as if it's some kind of a disease that needs to be fixed, that needs treatment. It doesn't need any treatment. It is people who have gone away from life who need treatment. Those who are close to life don't need treatment, they have to just live. One big lapse that is happening today in the world is our educational systems have become 100% informative. There is no inspiration. Without inspiration, no human being raises beyond the limitations in which he lives. It's only when he's inspired that a human being aspires to go beyond the limitations in which we're existing right now. And today education has become totally bereft of inspiration. A teacher is not somebody that is worth looking up to, unfortunately. Because when it's all information, you can as well get information from an audio or a video or internet or wherever. You don't really have to listen to a teacher. The teacher is not the best means of transmission when it comes to pure information. A book is better, internet is even better. Only if the teacher's role is to inspire people to learn, to create a thirst for knowledge and things like that, only then a teacher's role has something to give. If he's just trying to transmit information, the other means of transmission are better than a human being, because human being can always misinterpret, isn't it? Making the whole education system purely informational has caused an enormous damage, and that time of life, when you're youthful, when you're capable of many things, that span of life unfortunately goes waste, simply because the necessary inspiration is not there. So creating inspiration means, generally, most leaders in the world have always inspired people only by creating an external enemy. If you create an external enemy, you can have everybody on the street. Action, isn't it? But when you point out to people that the real enemy is within you, your limitations are your biggest enemies, isn't it? Whatever your limitations, your fear, your anxiety, your anger, your hatred, whatever the limitations from which one suffers, when you say when the enemy is within you and to inspire, it needs much more commitment and dedication. Unfortunately, dedication and commitment have become such scarce material on the planet. Everybody is thinking of doing one big mela one day and getting the youth inspired into wonderful states. Such things won't happen. It needs a daily, committed, dedicated work. It's a lifelong thing. It's not that today you do something, everything is fixed. There is no such possibility. Unless we are willing to… It's like nurturing a plant, it's like nurturing a tree. If you want it to bear fruit, you have to nurture it every day. Every day you have to water it, every day you have to take care of it. If this dedication is shown by the adults, the grown-ups, you will see youth will do miraculous things. Only because such dedication is missing in the general population, youth seem to be disoriented. They don't know what to do, they'll do their own things. Short-term things. Because everybody is working on short-term goals, youth also work on short-term goals. See, after all, every human being, just every human being in the world is concerned about human well-being, isn't it? No, there is a criminal, no, there is a thief, no, there is somebody else. They are also concerned about human well-being. It is just that his idea of human well-being is just this human being. Yes? A criminal also is concerned about human well-being, but his idea of humanity is just himself. Somebody's idea of humanity is he and his family. Somebody else's idea of humanity is he and his country. Somebody else's includes the whole world. Everybody is concerned about human well-being in different proportions. So, one big thing that needs to happen with the youth and with everybody is that their identification with humanity is not limited to just themselves, that it includes the larger society and the larger world around them, which is missing in education.